Hello everyone, my name is Chris and this is my channel, The Apprentice Builder Chris. I'm trying to figure out how to make perfect models. Just follow along with my adventures. Welcome to another full build video, this time the Tamiya Countach number 24005 in the series, and I start with showing the building sheet. Very old decals, but they worked. Then the content of the box, the body, the interior, very nice color. Then some parts of the driver, the chrome sprue, the clear sprue, black sprue, and the undercarriage inside and outside. A bag with moving parts and the tires, and this is how it was in the box. So I start by examining the body, looking for any defects or mold lines. The interior, very nice, very good color. So if you don't want to paint it, you can use it like it is, but it's very shiny. So then the driver and some parts of the vent system, the inlet vents, and then the hood or bonnet. Then some parts of the undercarriage. As you can see, the bumper, and this part here that I point at, Tamiya used to make their models to get played with. They were electrified, so you can play with them, and it's to protect the body. Chrome sprue, very chromy. You see, very chromy. The engine, like I said, they all made their first models motorized. The clear sprue, and then the tiny wheels. I find them not so big for such a car. Then I cut everything loose from the sprues and sorted it. The test fitting the interior, and then I started outlining with the permanent marker the body lines, so I can sand them down with some 600 grit sanding paper. They were not so prominent, the body lines, but the mold lines, but I do this with every model. It makes them look more realistic than when you see body lines that not supposed to be there. So here I start sanding down the body with 600 grit sanding paper, so I can remove all the mold lines, and you have to sand till all the marker lines are gone. And then I do the rest of the body, so it will be prepared for the primer. So the next step, you will see, I will be using a fine cutter and a scribing blade, so I can give the panel lines a little bit more depth, because if you start priming, and usually you put on 1, 2 or 3 layers, so the panel lines fill up with paint and they are not so visible anymore. So when you slightly scribe them with the scribing pen, they will be more prominent. I use a scribing pen of 0.2 for this, and I go over every single panel line that I want to be prominent and visible. Then I sand over the panel lines because there are a little bit of debris from scribing. Then I check the body out all over if there are still some spots that are visible. Here I'm scribing the logo of the Lamborghini because it was not very prominent anymore from the sanding. And then it's ready, the body, for primer. Next step is degreasing all the parts from the car. I use an ultrasonic cleaner for this. Then I sort everything. Then I did some shadowing, so every panel line I sprayed it with matte black, so there's somewhat more depth into it. But even when you put on a coat of primer and you afterwards you sand it, you will see a much darker panel line. I saw this on another video, so I tried it. And also the parts that has to be darkened out. And then here he is, the body ready for primer. The first layer is going on. It hasn't to be a thick layer, but you must take care that you go into every angle of the car. Step is letting the body dry for 5 to 50 minutes, and then I start priming every part of the body, and then afterwards every part of the rest of the car. Then 15 minutes approximately has passed, and then I start with the second layer. Same technique, start at the bottom and build up the layer. And between the second and third layer I usually let it dry somewhat longer, and then I wet sanded it, and then I put the third layer on. But I have not filmed that process, so sorry about that. Then it's the driver's time to get his base coat. I use this same base coat of the rest of the car. It's a light color, so when you put on either which color you put on, it's not too dark. I cover everything on the driver, even the parts that you can't see. Yes, sometimes you've been wondering, perhaps when I was spraying you don't see paint. That's because I first use air to blow off the dust, and then I spray my base coat. final layer of primer, the third layer. After sanding and letting it dry and dusting it off very well, you can put on the final layer. And then I let it dry again. And then I wet sand it with 1500 grit sanding paper. So it has a beautiful surface for the paint to grip on. Next up is the color combination I home brewed. You see here the needs. You have to pause it if you want to write down the formula. And that's the two results that I got. And I went for this one. So I already painted the car. And you see very well the metal flaking. This is the interior I went for, the dashboard, and that's the result. I tried flocking it, but my flocking powder was not very good. It was too thick. The driver details, the mounting of the driver, the setting of his hands on the steering wheel was not so good. The bottom of the car and the final product. And then a little warning, I used 2K clear coat, and people protect yourself because that's dangerous stuff, the urethane that's in there. So protect every body part, your face, your head, even use gloves. Sometimes I use double gloves, and this was the result I was going for, and this is what I got. You see the nice metal flaking. So I'm quite proud of the end result. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye! And please like the video, share the video with your friends, and if you want, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be notified when I upload my next video. So for now, I thank you and I wish you all a very good day. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell.